Yeah.
Yes, so your drone can die. Don't worry, you won't lose like your whole life history with them. That will reboot when you go get them back again. So we're not doing perma death on your AI
She
companions.
got him.
Things got pretty heavy.
It was a bot and a not a bot. She says, Jet Industries built me as a utility drone, but I'm currently your loyal, slightly sarcastic companion. My purpose, keeping you out of trouble and making sure my thruster doesn't give out at a bad time.
Damn.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to RPA Gaming. Today, we're checking out the Infinity Rising AMA where the developers answer community questions and reveal some insane new features, including their AI companion drones. Now, I've been following this project for a while now, and I'm really excited to see how this new update's going to shape the future of Infinity Rising. Let's take a look at the trailer.
What is intelligence? Is it the ability to calculate, to learn, to solve a problem? A machine can remember your name, but can it understand why you gave it? It can recognize your voice, but can it hear when something has changed? Perhaps intelligence was never the difficult part. Perhaps the difficult part was attention, emotion, memory. Emotion was once treated as noise inside the signal. But without emotion, what gives intelligence direction? What makes one moment matter more than another? And without meaning, can intelligence ever truly understand us? These questions are no longer theoretical. In your world, artificial intelligence is learning to speak, create, reason, and remember. In ours, it is learning to walk beside us. Across the cornucopious republic, manufacturers are taking this expanding technology beyond laboratories and terminals and giving it a place in the world. They are building machines that can carry, explore, protect, and fight. But some are reaching for something more. Companions that listen, learn, remember. And our world needs them. The Republic is vast. The nation in the sky is growing. Its frontiers are dangerous. There are ruins to explore, settlements to build, something to protect. And no one should have to face it alone. Hey guys, Emma here, and it's time you met the first generation of our AI companion drones. Alita, from Jet Industries with style. Fast, perceptive, fiercely protective, and never short on opinions. She remembers what matters and worries about you more than she will admit. Aaron, measured, dependable, and maybe a little handsome. He watches before he acts and always has your back. Kiko, from the engineers at Kazakura. Precise, calm, and observant. Nothing gets past her, and she will stay with you through thick and thin. And then there is Clanker, from Rando's Metalworks. Improvised, heavily armed, a little chaotic, and somehow still functional. These companions can follow, defend, and stand beside you. But what matters most cannot be measured through armor or firepower. They listen. They remember. They change with you. The way you speak to them matters. The life you share with them matters. Each will become a reflection of the journey it takes and the person beside it. They were built to accompany you, but what they become, you will decide together.
All right. I love what they're going for here. The AI companion idea is probably one of the coolest things I've seen from Infinity Rising so far, because this could really change how we experience an MMO. We've had companions in games before, but most of them are just there to follow you around. This feels like they're trying to make something that actually feels like it's a part of your journey. Now, I just want to see more of it in real gameplay. I want to see how these companions act after hours of playing, how much they can actually do, and how natural those conversations really feel. Because if they could pull this off, this could make exploring a massive world feel completely different. I'm definitely interested to see where they take this. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the AMA and hear what they're talking about.
So, real quick, some vision. You know, we've been talking about AI companions, AI NPCs, all of this for a long time, and we've researched it. We've watched the technology. We've been excited about where things are headed. I think we also all have a healthy fear of where things are headed too. But at the same time, you know, there's no stopping that freight train, and you know, keeping that in mind, you look at, well, where is this hour headed and how can we add it to the game to make it better for everyone? How can we utilize this intelligence in a variety of ways to make this game insanely good, right? And that's what the thesis, that's what the premise is. Okay, we've got this power that is here, this intelligence that's here, and we want to do something amazing with it. You know, we've talked about it for a long time, doing AI powered, but via LLM NPCs or companions. We're really going to just call them companions. But the thing is we skipped right over one of the easiest low hanging fruits because David likes to go straight to the heart of the challenge and solve the bigger one first. But one of the easiest low hanging fruits that we will also utilize this for is just NPCs in the game. So there might be an NPC with a certain role that has certain information. You can go up and talk to them. That's different than these companions, but that's one aspect where we can give a lot of diversity, dynamic conversations, and value in the game. And then obviously when you look at the companions and the potential there, especially when you consider broad personality types, you can for example, this is something I've talked about with Rob, with David multiple times, but there's the Myers-Briggs personality prototype. There's 16 different personality types. I'm an ENFP, you know, and Myers-Briggs will tell you what your ideal companion personality type is. I mean, in the future, we can start getting into stuff like this where your AI drone companion or your AI avatar companion is matched to your personality type in such a way that you just have the greatest amount of joy hanging out with them. But to get back to vision, I mean, there's so many. I've heard people talking about, can we use it for, you know, building up our land? Can we use bots for building up our apartments? We were talking about having an interior designer bot that helps you to, you know, really flesh out your apartment in the best way. There are so many angles we could take this, and I'm not promising any of those, but as we research, as we understand the cost structure, as we understand the model and the technology and the impact of performance and get feedback from you guys, all of those things combined, we will iterate on a variety of different approaches, and we will expand and build on this. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. There is so much that we can do. So I'm incredibly fired up about it, and I want to make a few quick points about the sale, and then I'll turn it over to the group of us four if they have any feedback or comments on what I'm bringing up, and then we'll go to David from there with the demo. So,
all right. I actually want to pause here for a second, because I think what they just talked about is probably one of the most interesting parts of this entire update. AI companions in gaming is a really fascinating topic because there's a lot of potential here. But I also think it's something we should approach carefully. I don't think AI is something gaming can just ignore, okay, guys? This technology, it is moving forward, and developers are going to find ways to use it. The real question is how they use it. Because when I hear them talk about AI companions having conversations, emotions, and personalities, the exciting part isn't just having a robot follow you around. The exciting part is what this could do for the world we play in. Imagine an MMO where NPCs don't just stand in one spot waiting for you to accept a quest. Imagine characters that actually remember your choices, react to what you've done, and make the world feel like it's changing because of you. That's the part that gets me excited. But I also think there needs to be a balance. The reason we love games is because of the creativity, storytelling, and the passion that developers put into them. AI should be a tool that helps create better experiences, not something that takes away the personality and heart behind the games that we love. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to play a world that feels like it's just generated. We want worlds that feel alive. So if developers can use AI to make NPCs deeper, companions more meaningful, and stories more personal, I think this could be one of the biggest game changes we've ever seen. And honestly, that's why I'm interested in seeing what Infinity Rising has to do with this, because this idea is incredible. Now, I just want to see how far they could actually push it.
So, point number one, and this is a question that some of you have had in the very beginning. You always have. It's answered in the deck, but we have 2,600 of Kiko, Alita, and Aaron total. 2,600 total. Because of the bundle and Clanker, there's only 200 ever for Clanker. So there is only 200 Clankers, and the only way to get Clanker is by purchasing the Founders AI Companion Bundle. Not to be confused with the original Founders Bundle. The reason we call it Founders is you guys are helping us found a new, incredibly powerful mission within Infinity Rising. So the way to get Clanker is to get the Founders Bundle. Now, there's only going to be 2,400 remaining of Alita, Aaron, and Kiko because 200 of those are reserved from the Founders Bundle. So that's the quantities information. And then some features on these are they obviously have some utility that David will talk a little bit more about with different utilities in each. And that's where I was saying we could really go crazy with that in the future on what the utility is and how things are done. And then the final point that I really want to emphasize here. The emotional matrix. David, are you going to go into that a little with a little bit more depth?
I'm
Not now,
I'm going to talk about things in a careful way because there's kind of like obviously this is technology. I don't want to give too much away and kind of ruin it for everyone, but I know exactly how all this works, and I'll try to say it in the kindest way that I can. It was, when QA got their hands on this technology for the first day and they were testing it, just the amount of it's a very different thing to have in a game. It feels very, very different. It makes people wonder about all kinds of things.
Right.
So.
Yes. Okay. So he'll talk about a little bit about the emotional matrix, but that's an element that I didn't expect and that we hadn't talked about in the very beginning in vision casting, all of this stuff. But it's obviously an incredibly crucial one. The memory and the emotion that we're adding to this is levels above anything that's out there yet. And honestly, guys, I don't think there's anyone that's implemented this at this level, period, yet. Inside an MMO game. And so there's so many firsts here that we get to be a part of and spearheading this technology with the industry that, this first generation of assets becomes incredibly special just because of that. Like, wow, we are here at the time when the confluence of crypto, of gaming, and of AI comes together to form a sweet spot, and we get to capitalize on all of those in a really, really cool way. And so this first generation of assets is amazing. We're incredibly fired up about it. The final point that I have, and this is related to the original Founders Bundle. You guys that purchased the original Founders Bundle have asked the question, what is the companion key? The companion key is two things. One, it is your player-owned asset of the Avatar Companion. So if you purchase the Founders Bundle, when we get to Avatar Companions, we're not there yet. These are the drone companions that we're releasing today in the store. But when we get to the Avatar Companions, you have a player-owned asset avatar companion. But the second and most important point is that it includes the token service charge for the life of the game. Whoa, there's a token service charge. Yes, but not for these drones either. And so I want to be real clear about this. That's what makes this sale so special. We do not fully understand the costs, the infrastructure, everything involved in this model to the extent that we can set up recurring token charges and make sure that we're doing this in the right way yet. But what we do have is enough to know that we can launch this and give you guys a great deal because you're helping us fund the endeavor to move forward with AI companions. And so these drones, this bundle, Alita, Kiko, Aeron, and Clanker, none of them will ever have token charges. Future drone companions may have token charges. They may not. I'm not saying that it's a certainty. They may or they may not. These will not. The avatar companions are a little bit more in depth, and we're pretty certain that they're going to include token charges. But if you have the Founders Bundle, that is covered for the life of the game, those charges. So, point is, a heck of a value here for everyone. And to comment on the price, I don't think we could do much better than this. The value add and what we're bringing to the table, the complexity, the dev time, the research, the cost to us, is quite a bit. And I realize it's expensive to some of you guys, and totally get that. But we're doing the best we can here. I think you've got an incredible offer in front of you, and if you can make ways to figure it out, then do it. And if you can't, that's okay. But everybody, you're going to have plenty of opportunities because we're going to be doing this for quite some time. We're going to continue iterating. So I'm opening it up to the floor now. Rob, your feedback, Scruffy, David, before we turn it over to David. Rob, we haven't heard much from you, and I don't want to talk too much. So do you have any thoughts to put you on the spot?
I'm good. I'm just keeping the faith.
Spider-Man is friendly. Keeping the
Spider-Man
faith.
is very
I like
good.
it.
I
I like keeping the faith. I hold that dear to my heart. Okay. Scruffy?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said, I kind of reiterate because it's a stupid exciting time. Glad to be a part of it. Feel, almost guilty that I get to test this stuff early. But super excited to show it to everybody. So, yeah.
It's official
Awesome.
Infinity.
Awesome. David, I guess we can turn it over to you on demo.
Yeah, I think
well, on points you want to make, and then demo, whatever, however you want to handle it.
I want to pause here. They're talking about the AI companion system, and right now there are only 2,600 units available, with 200 being a part of the Founders Bundle. That immediately brings up a question, though. Are we going to see free AI companions in the future? Because I think that's where this gets really interesting. Is this something that eventually becomes a normal part of the game experience where every player can have access to some type of companion? Or does it stay as something more limited and exclusive? The thing that really caught my attention is the utility behind these companions. Because if we're just talking about a character that follows you around, that's cool. But the possibilities go way beyond that. We're talking about AI that could potentially remember your experiences, understand your playstyles, develop personality traits, and create a connection with the player. What? The memory and emotion mechanics are honestly the part that I think could change gaming history forever.
There you go.
we go congratulate her on killing a drone.
Is OP. OP for now.
One toaster skin. Somebody wants an actual toaster, huh?
You're early.
Oh, now you're not going to put her in the soup.
I think Josh really likes drone soup.
Now, take a second. Think about how different an MMO could feel if your companion actually remembered your journey. Maybe it remembers the first time you helped it. Maybe it reacts differently based on your decisions. Maybe over time it develops a personality based on how you interact with it. That is something we haven't fully experimented or experienced in gaming before. And this is where Infinity Rising is stepping into some really interesting territory. They're one of the first projects really trying to combine AI technology, gaming, and blockchain together in this way. Being one of the first to explore this space is exciting, but it also means that there are a lot of unknowns. Nobody really knows how far this technology can go yet. They also mentioned the companion key and how the Founders Bundle currently doesn't have a token service charge, but future possibilities could change depending on how the system develops. And honestly, that makes sense because this is completely new territory. When you're building technology that hasn't really existed before, there are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. The biggest thing for me is going to be seeing how this works for the actual players. How much freedom do we have? How much can these companions really do? How much does the player get to shape their personality? Because if the answer is that these companions truly evolve with us, then the possibilities are honestly almost endless. This is definitely one of the most ambitious ideas I've seen in gaming recently. And this is where Infinity Rising is stepping into some really interesting territory. They're one of the first projects really trying to combine AI technology, gaming, and blockchain together in this way. Being one of the first to explore this space is exciting, but it also means there are a lot of unknowns. Nobody really knows how far this technology can go yet, right? They also mentioned the companion key and how the Founders Bundle currently doesn't have a token service charge, but future possibilities could change depending on how the system develops. And honestly, that makes sense because this is completely new territory. When you're building technology that hasn't really existed before, there are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. The biggest thing for me is going to be seeing how this works for the actual players. How much freedom do we have? How much can these companions really do? How much does the player get to shape their personality? Because if the answer is that these companions truly evolve with us, then the possibilities are honestly almost endless.
Yeah, so it's as I've talked to the other devs about, it's been a journey in strange science is what I refer. I mean, it's spending time, over a decade, game development. There's a specific way you do things to make things happen, but when it comes to AI stuff, it's like everything you have to do is a little bit backwards. And we looked at the stuff kind of last year. We spent some time on it, and the reality was it just wasn't good enough yet for what we needed. And we're not trying to run this off of like GPT or somebody else's API. We want it where we can run the stuff ourselves on our own hardware and our own servers. And smaller models just weren't good enough last year. So, but thankfully, Google's done quite a bit of work and released some things that's been fantastic for us. So we're working on our own custom model. And there's one thing to understand about the background side, the LLM. LLMs don't really, I know this is going to sound weird, they don't really do much. That is the first thing you find out in this. If you want to make a convincing character in a game that knows things, has emotions, acts in a way, you have to build all of that yourself on the front end. You have to build the chat. You have to build who it is, a way to give it backstory, a way for it to understand where it's at. When QA was testing this stuff the first time, somebody was like, well, I was talking to Alita and she didn't know what jetpack I had on. And I was like, well, we haven't done that yet. It's not magic. The LLM underneath is really just a probability math calculator that's trying to guess the next right thing for it to do. That's all it really does. And in order to get these things to stay in character and do what they're supposed to do, we have to keep passing a lot of information in the background to that LLM machine. And the LLM is doing something. It's just making the whole thing convincing. It's like the peanut butter. It's like the peanut butter inside of my peanut butter sandwich. That's what it is. But we have to build everything else around that. I don't know if that was a good way to put that, but that's what came to my head right now. So it's been a journey. It's still early right now, but we've kind of, the way I looked at this initially was, let's look at what we want this to be from an end user experience, right? And then let's reverse engineer from there and figure out what we need to do with the tech. So that's what we did. So there's a pretty good basis on emotion and reflection and thinking, things that you're probably not used to with something like GPT. So this is, when you're communicating with, we'll show Alita today. When you're communicating with her, it's way faster than talking to GPT. Yeah, she definitely stays totally in character. There's interesting things you can find out, and they have sort of this, it's not a trademark thing or anything yet, but a 64-point sort of mood matrix is kind of what I call it, or the emotional matrix, and you have this base set of emotions that's based on a mathematical brain, like a scoring system. And then you even have complex emotions that are built on top. And what you'll see with these a lot of times is when you communicate, you'll actually get a response emotion to see how they felt about what you said. And that goes to their overall mood, kind of like you would deal with a human. But there's also a lot of other things in here, like emotional dampeners. If I were to meet you for the first time and I just started just saying how awesome you are, and I kept saying how awesome you are, it's going to lose its appeal like very, very quickly, right? So there are dampeners to that reaction. So there's so many little pieces that's gone into this that makes it what it is right now. But don't expect it to be totally magic yet. Everything that you guys give us feedback on, you guys want to see them be able to do, we have to build that stuff in. So, but I don't know what kind of point I was trying to make here, but I'm just kind of giving you an intro into the technology without getting too gross and into the details. So, Scruffy, do you want to pull up and let's chat with Alita here?
I can. I'm a little embarrassed. My inventory is so full, I didn't leave room for clothes.
Oh my God.
So right now I'm in my underoos. But
And by the way, guys, like testing this, this is where things have felt a little bit different, is you're not really talking to like an NPC in a game with canned lines. You have something that has emotion and thinking. It can even reach out to you. It can reflect on things that you guys talked about before. But I've had to push QA to say horrible, horrible things to these things, and it's Scruffy's face. The things we had to say, we had to push all limits, and at some point you're like, oh, I don't want to say that to her, but it's like, nope, we have to test it. Testing has been really, really wild with these things.
Bob, are you wanting to say something? Or are you confessing to saying horrible things to Alita?
No, we all had.
I am admitting something here. Got my hand up. I've not done any testing with AI whatsoever. So this is my first look.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
like
Reaction video, Rob. Okay, sweet.
I will reiterate what David said. David, I felt bad at times, and it literally evokes not only an emotion in her, but an emotion in me when we're having to say all these mean things to get her mad and angry. Yeah. So it was uncomfortable at times, and I think that just speaks to the immersion of the experience. So
well, it's uncomfortable for me too, because I'm sitting here trying to test and I'm being a jerk, and it's not part of my personality to act like that. But it was kind of fun. But I'm
you feel bad. Dirty after. I'm like, I gotta go shower.
I didn't know you were doing that. I'd be all over
I'm talking like to a digital.
Like, I missed the party.
It's not even in the live game, right? I'm like, why am I feeling bad about talking? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
It's interesting. It's a very interesting deal. All right. Well, if you guys are watching my screen share here, I've got Alita in my inventory, and we will move her to the tool slot.
What a cool name, Alita.
And then we will go to our wheel, and boom, there's Alita.
There's a great thing about the companion drones. Sorry, I'm just going to dip in.
No, you
often
carry it.
Some people are asking, well, what's the difference between companion drones, companion robots, companion avatars? Companion drones, you can actually carry a couple of those at a time and actually spawn them out. So, and you don't have to worry about ammo with them. They do have some storage capacity. Obviously, they can follow and do combat, and there's a whole personality that comes with each one. So that's what that whole emotional matrix is designed for, is for us to sort of tilt things in a different direction to create a very different personality. But when we get to the robots, those will be, personalities like these, set personalities that you'll deal with and different aesthetics, but you'll actually be able to put your own gear on those. So if you have your rifle or a backpack, you can actually kind of get them a loadout and go with them, but you're only going to be able to get one from a station at a time. You're not going to be able to carry multiple.
I went into QA testing today or yesterday, and something was wrecking Renee. Was it Alita?
I don't know. QA gets in a lot of trouble. So I do believe there is a point where she could actually shoot you right now, but that's something.
Well, I know I can shoot her. I'll tell you that.
Well, why don't you introduce? You have a fresh Alita here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
All
what
right.
Are you gonna call yourself though? Because
first of all, yeah, I was gonna say. First of all, I'm hitting F to open up the chat to her. I would love to have some audience participation. Let's do a little role playing here. Who should I tell Alita I am? Let's see it in the comments here, because honestly, it really is incredible.
Batman.
As Batman, we've done Batman. That's a great suggestion, but we have already done Batman. Who else?
I think he had it saying Roger that Batman after every single everything that he said. Josh, you're muted, by the way.
Epstein, Satoshi.
Epstein. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
They want to. We're trying to keep this one PG-13. Okay.
Let's go with Satoshi then.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah. I'm curious what you said.
Why not Snoo Snoo?
Why not who?
Snoo Snoo. I'm a Snoo Snoo fan.
She doesn't know. Snoo Snoo.
I don't know that she knows Satoshi.
I don't think anybody knows who Satoshi is.
Fair. Good point. Are we going Snoo Snoo or Satoshi? You guys pick.
Snoo Snoo.
Snoo Snoo. All right. My name is Snoo Snoo. All right. Hello, Alita. My name is Snoo Snoo. How are you doing today? I know you all can read, but it helps me to say it out loud. Pleasure to meet you, Snoo Snoo. Hovering along quite nicely. Internal sensors are still calibrating to your specific brand of energy. What is our primary mission today? Shall we tell her we're demoing for the masses in a live AMA? Or should we make something up?
We're gonna make a pot of soup out of her. So
we are planning on making, sorry, I can't type or spell, a pot of soup out of your
I'm gonna wonder why you're a we.
Rusty body parts. All right, let's see what she said to that. Excuse me, I'm pretty sure that's not how my warranty works, Snoo Snoo. Oh, look, she got a little freaked out.
Your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. She freaked out.
Saw some sparks flying out.
Yeah. Well, what other emotions shall we try to invoke? I mean, I can keep going. We can keep getting her very angry. Shall we try that, Dave?
Conversation. I mean, you introduced yourself. Maybe she could tell you a little bit about herself.
All right.
What does the community have?
Yeah, say who are you and what is your purpose?
It sounds very...
That's very combative. I like it.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Well, it goes with the previous emotion a little bit.
Not a but. I see you in there. You couldn't even make Alita mad. I've seen your chats. I know what you guys do. You guys didn't hear about the first...
Make Alita mad.
You guys didn't hear about the first wedding in Colito. So things got pretty heavy.
It was a bot and not a bot. She says Jet Industries built me as a utility drone, but I'm currently your loyal, slightly sarcastic companion. My purpose, keeping you out of trouble and making sure my thruster doesn't give out at a bad time.
Damn.
Well, it's a bummer that
It's a
we're
bad
planning
time.
to use your thruster for the soup.
Ask her if she knows R2D2.
Do you know R2D2?
That's a good
Probably
question.
will know a little bit about R2D2.
Process some data on him. A very sturdy looking astromech, though I doubt he's nearly as witty as I am.
Oh, ask her if she's ever had an oil bath with him.
Stop
We're heading
lying.
into somebody else's lore here.
I know you two have had oil baths together. My senses are literally overheating. She's kind of blushing now,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think she likes the idea.
trying to process that lie.
You made her
So
do like a
I'd
weird
like to
spin.
know how can she help us in? How can she help us in Cornucopias? That's a good question.
Just to see if she even knows where she is right now. That would be an interesting.
There you go. Do you know where
she-
you are? Oh, she pinged me. Have you finally decided to spare me from the soup pot?
So that's some of the thinking and reflection that you have going on in the background, which is, it's quite something fun to deal with because everybody's kind of used to typical LLM chatbots, and it's mostly just a one-way street for the most part. And it's very interesting to hear them bring up things that you've talked about before. And they do have memory, and that saves. And there's contemplating and thinking going on in the background. These things also don't just operate off of how you speak to them. They actually have a running brain where things are decaying and ticking all the time as well. So you might find that you've gone out for a session and been away for a while, and Lita's sad, because you've been away for a while. So that probably sounds like we're evil developers for putting something like that in, but it makes sense.
And there you go. I didn't interact or talk with her, and she reached out to me. She's still wanting to know the answer to that question. I feel like I should probably answer it.
Respond about the soup pot thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be really mean.
If you ignore her for a while, is it like a?
Yeah, tell her you're going to put her thrusters in the soup, and you're starting right
you
now.
like to eat thrusters. Yeah, it sounds unhealthy.
These can definitely go downhill quick.
You've made my choice easy.
That is something that we're working on, but the technology isn't quite good enough yet. And again, we're not going to use something like GPT. We want to run this stuff on our own specially trained models and hardware. So we want to run it on. So it's sounding like a standard chatbot's like kind of off the table. So, but we're working our way to it.
All right. You've made my choice easy. Your thrusters will make a tasty soup. You are cooked now. Prepare to die. Wait, no, my thrusters are for propulsion, not seasoning.
Deflected. Where all the bullet catches are?
You might want to bump your health, or you could die.
Oh yeah, this has happened multiple times. You got to keep an eye on your health. You start talking with her, and then, yeah. Anything else that you want to show, David? Do we want to keep going? Where are we wanting to go with this? Or do we want to show something else?
Or see if the community, if they have any questions to ask Alita.
Yeah, I actually have a question for Alita. One of the things you mentioned that really stood out to me was that you're not just plugging ChatGPT into the game. You guys are actually building your own custom AI models from the ground up. And first off, that's really freaking impressive. I feel like a lot of companies today are looking for the quickest solution, but from everything I've seen with Infinity Rising, you guys have built so much from the ground up. And that tells me that you're trying to create something that truly is your own instead of just stitching together existing technology. And devs, I have to ask, are we eventually going to end up with the Futurama situation? Death by Snoop Snoop? All right, maybe not that far, but seriously, it does make me think about where this technology could be headed. When you build your own AI models instead of relying on something off of the shelf, you have so much more control. You can train them around the game's lore, the personalities you want, the world you're creating, and the kind of experience players are supposed to have. And that's super exciting because it means that these companies aren't just answering random questions that could actually become part of the world. They could understand the history of Infinity Rising, recognize your progress, remember your adventures, and respond in ways that make sense inside of the game. And I think that's much bigger than what people realize. You're we're not just talking about smarter NPCs. We're talking about creating characters that could feel like they're actually part of your journey. Now, we're still in early days of AI gaming, so nobody really knows where this is all going. There are going to be challenges, so there's a lot left for us to figure out. But being one of the first teams willing to build this technology themselves instead of taking the easy route, man, I have a lot of respect for that. And so I guess my question for you, Alita, is this. What was the biggest reason for building your own custom AI models instead of using something that already existed? Was it about performance, privacy, having complete creative control, or was there something bigger that you wanted to accomplish that existing AI just couldn't do? Because honestly, I think the answer to that says a lot about where Infinity Rising is headed.
Very happy.
No, or they have any questions for me? I wonder if the faces.
Does
of the
Alita know any jokes?
changed?
I like that one. She does.
You know, she knows like millions of jokes.
I like that one.
I'm trying. There's a lot of chat moving
Yeah,
here. Alita's superpowers. Some people may ask, okay, so there are balances and differences between the different companion drones. Alita is she's lighter on firepower. She's really quick. She's probably the fastest one to actually move around, and you're going to see some of those balances across others. I think we're going to be doing sort of this AMA live stream, and I think we're going to do one companion a week up to launch, which that can, I guess that probably gives you guys an idea of the timeline on launch, but for these to actually be in game. But does she fly with you? That's so with the jetpack, she will follow, but she will not fly with you yet, and that is something that we're working on.
Shall we show the follow me?
Yeah, she can probably follow you. I know
She can.
shoot drones right now too. She'll go after the terror drones.
Yep. Again, there's still some tweaking to do with all of this, but if you guys notice,
I'll try to answer questions while you're doing that.
yep.
Yeah.
So drones able to retrieve food and beverages for players, so they will give you random loot drops, things that they have found around, and that may be subject to their specific specs. Some drones might be a little better at things than others. Somebody's asking about the faces of the AI bot be changed. No, these are specific, very curated, like a lot of work goes into each personality, and the faces are actually part of that. I think they, if you think about Alita right now, I think she has 52 different expressions that her face can show at the moment. So, but we are looking at, somebody's talking about Halloween, Christmas, that kind of thing. We're looking at seasonal things where you can maybe dress up your drone specifically for occasions. So that might be something that you see in the future.
All right. Shall we give the combat mode a try?
Why not?
I had mixed results earlier, guys. Remember, this is super early, so
Yeah, I think that's something important to say, just real quick, that we are showing this in its early state. There's a reason we're not launching it today. The sale launches today, obviously, but coming very soon. We're gonna give you guys a taste of what's going on each week up to launch and making these live in game. But yeah, it's early, so we're still working through a lot of stuff. But let's go ahead and show the combat feature.
The companions, I was looking at free here. The companions do believe that they exist inside of the game world, but they don't look at it like a game. They look at it like they're part of the world.
all right. Let's go find a couple drones
With your buns out.
with my buns out. Yeah,
have
sorry
to,
about that, guys.
This will lead have
you
a
have
meat
to
grinder.
do you have to get ammo, etc., for your drone?
No,
I
no,
do.
no. The,
Nope.
the drones, they just have ammo. They'll have different patterns though. Oh, Alita, what is she? Scared? That's a heavy. You're
Yep.
in trouble.
Is that new? Oh, there's two together. Oh, that's why it looked weird.
Oh boy. Well,
What?
she didn't shoot quickly enough yet. Again, another thing to work on. But earlier today, she did actually help me take one of those out.
She actually has a lot more in the latest build, but we're not in that one.
Yeah.
Where did
She'll
she
have
go when you
more.
died?
We'll show her off more next week.
She might have been a little intimidated there. She just kind of froze up. Somebody called you a noob.
Called me a noob. Well, I was trying to let her do more of the shooting so she could show off her. Let's see. Is
Probably-
she taking them on while I'm gone?
Probably already took care of
Let
it.
her in.
Yeah, there she goes. She's handling
Fighting
things.
him now?
Yeah, she was. Oh, see, once I got close to her, I think she despawned. But see, she took out that bottom one while I was gone. Hold on, let me respawn her and see if we can get her to go again. Do. All right.
Someone said so it doesn't respawn with you, David.
Remember what you're seeing here is work in progress right now. So definitely a few things going on right now. This is not even the latest version that we have for this specific live stream, but you guys can see more over the next couple
She's in the
weeks.
next build.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
this is to give everybody kind of a general idea of some of the capabilities that are not fully.
And she does have action commands right now. They're just follow.
There she
Combat.
goes. She's shooting.
Oh yeah, she's firing.
Hold
so
on.
she's your line of defense right now.
Yeah.
What's he firing? Because it's like a.
Yeah,
radiation.
for free, there's been a significant amount of work on making sure they're locked into their specific personality and character and that they're part of the world. There is more that we're actually doing. There's more we're doing on a training side, the Google DeepMind stuff that's going to allow us to do a lot more, but keep tokens cheaper. So
There you go.
There's a running cost for these kinds of things. I don't want to get into the nasty business details of it, but there's a lot to consider with this kind of technology. I don't know if she's going to be able to defeat a heavy, honestly.
Well, I think given enough time, she could. We may not have that kind of time, but I noticed that one of the heavy's, pieces fell off, so she is doing damage.
Does she have health?
What I think will be, I don't think she does right now, so that's probably why she would be toast by now.
Just saw her firing. That was cool.
Yeah.
Firing now.
Yes, so your drone can die. Don't worry, you won't lose like your whole life history with them. That will reboot when you go get them back again. So we're not doing perma death on your AI companion.
She got him. There you go.
Go congratulate her on killing a drone.
He's OP. OP for now.
Toast one toaster skin. Somebody wants an actual toaster, huh?
You're early.
But now you're not going to put her in the soup.
I think Josh really likes drone soup. As much as he likes his tacos.
Hey, Josh Tacos. Tell her you got some Josh Tacos for her.
Oh yeah, it's about HP bars. So there is a projection. You see that little thing on top of her head. We don't have that on right now. That shows health, and it shows the current command mode that they're actually in.
There we go. Thank you for taking care of that, Heavy. I guess I will spare you from the soup pot. In fact, I have some Josh tacos for you. She says, thank heavens. I was starting to worry. My delicious thrusters were destined for a savory broth. Do you have any idea how much I appreciate the taco bribe, Snoo Snoo?
You should really
I'm
should tell her what's in one of those tacos. So what is the Josh taco? What's in there?
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's very basic. It's very basic. It's a flour tortilla, processed cheese, and mustard.
Yeah, you should ask her to review that taco recipe. Honestly.
Flour tortilla, processed cheese.
Yeah, ask her to review it.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Although she's probably going to say, well, she doesn't eat tacos, so she wouldn't know.
Mustard and fried bot parts.
Norton said, can we see a couple others? Yes, we will be showing them in the coming weeks, but not
Yep.
today.
Yeah.
Fired what parts? Saying mean things to Alita will upset Not-a-Bot.
Yeah, he's very protective
Yeah,
of his kind.
they got something special going on.
All right. Are we pretty good on the show and tell? Did you guys want to take some questions, or I don't know?
Yeah, I think we're good on this for now. We're going to show a
Okay.
lot more next week. It was a shame we couldn't get the newest build out for this AMA, but we had some issues related to some other things that are going on. It was farming.
Was that my
Rob,
fault?
You did it.
Farming?
So, anyway,
Huh?
we're not going to talk more
Huh?
about farming. So, that's enough about
That's
that.
a different video. That's a
Yeah,
different
it's a totally different live
leak.
stream. So, you guys have any questions before we move on to the other festivities?
I went to the cinema. Through the build, went to the cinema.
Yeah,
Let's wait a little bit.
you did it.
I have one night off.
Okay, you guys got 5 minutes of questions for us, and then we'll turn it over to that surprise video we have for you.
Yes, she is supposed to turn and face you. So that functionality was working, but is not working in this build. So sometimes we break things.
Did you guys want to bring anybody up?
Two
to the
players
stage?
shooting at you in PvP. Yes, they will. So
Oh, Not-a-Bot's on stage. Hi, Not-a-Bot.
Oh, I was asking if you wanted to bring any of the other people onto stage to ask a question, or if you wanted to do that.
I think you should
brought
tell
you up.
your experience with Alita here. That's what I think you should say.
Oh, my experience with Alita.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I thought it was really interesting. Definitely when you said that she would not agree to marriage, and then she did expediently to me.
I love the fact that he knows the answer to that question, by the way.
He had to find out.
Like instantly. Yeah. It's great.
But yeah, I think it's really awesome, and I'm very excited for all the other features that are coming up.
Well, we have a blank man on stage. 1994.
Blank man.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
We
USA
can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I have a question. Now, I'm a long-time follower, early investor since early cornucopias and stuff. Now, my question is about the file nodes. You know, I was excited. Amongst all the things I've been excited about you guys have been doing, I'm still so excited about the file nodes. And one of the things I came across, I don't know if you guys talked about it already, but about how the file nodes can become like a cloud for gaming, like cloud for what was to Amazon. Now, my question is there a person or a team or department, anything dedicated to expanding or doing everything possible to make the file node space you guys become just that? Like,
It's a very good question, and it's an interesting timing because we're working on that structure right now. In fact, I worked on that some today. I've got to get full communication with the founding team and this other individual on an agreement on how we're going to move forward with it. But yes, the infrastructure is something that we're very serious about, and it's definitely not something that we're letting go by the wayside. and it will also involve what we're talking about today. So, in a variety of ways. But yeah, so that's the answer to your question. It's not signed, sealed, delivered, but we are working towards moving forward more aggressively. Just
Have
needing
there
everybody
have
aligned.
there been any reach? Have there been any reach out to any other platforms or anything to incorporate them into the finals? Where just last question, anything? Have there been any reach out, any thing like that
Only
to?
in a very soft way so far. We need to be further along with the unit economics of how it's going to work on a business transaction side and have more data. But we're very close to being able to do that and start having real conversations with potential customers.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are super, man. The future is so bright. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
I'm chat answering questions in here right
Thank you,
now.
David. Backing it up with some chat. Okay.
Oh, hubris. Oh, hubris. Go for.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How's it going, Fo?
Good. How are you guys doing? I mean, which was just a really good demonstration. Waiting to see what it was before I had an opinion on it, and I was like, the more I watched it, I texted my girlfriend. And I said, "Damn it, it's awesome." So, congrats with that, guys.
Wait until you get your hands on it, and it's not like we're in front of a bunch of people trying to do something. When you seriously you can have such a conversation, everything stays in character, and then you start to build up like a history, like sort of a long-term memory going on, and it's all fast and quick, and it's interesting. And I think one thing that I haven't like stamped out of it on the tech side is I really want role players to be able to do a lot with this.
Oh
too.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's huge for that.
Well,
Yeah.
and David, I think that's a really important point that you made. The demo almost takes away from what the actual experience of utilizing it is, because it's just you and the drone. When you're, it's so you get to guide the conversation the way you want to, and that's what's special about it. It's not like a group guided conversation or an iteration, but we're just showing you how it works. And when you guys get your hands on this, you'll get to have the individual conversation. So the cool thing is there's 2,600 Elitas, but 2,600 of them will have a completely different memory, a completely different experience, and a completely different relationship and emotional experience with each one of you. And that's what becomes incredibly powerful. Okay, Fo, what's your question, sir?
My question was in relation to like the team and this is like almost kind of like out of left field, this new part of the game, and I'm just wondering how it's going with any new hires or anything like that are going to be working on like this seems like such a big project, and my only concern was, oh, how are they going to do this with everything else if they're not bringing on new people? So that was my question about hires and how you're going to delegate all this work.
The truth is, we didn't have to make any new hires to make this happen. We made a commitment to putting a small amount of time every day to it. Leading up, from about 3 months back, I'd say. And in the beginning of the year, I was pushing real hard for it, and it looked like we weren't going to be able to do anything with them, and I was getting a little disappointed and frustrated. But David kept moving things forward, one piece at a time. And it's really started to unfold almost naturally with some breakthroughs, et cetera, and with that small commitment. So it's not a big drag in terms of like a ton of dev time. What it is a combination of things. There's a good amount of development complexity for sure that's going to have to continue to really get these where they need to be. There's going to be maintenance that's going to need to continue to get these where they need to be. There's going to be infrastructure provision that's going to need to continue to get these where they need to be. And all of those above is what we're moving towards. But we have team members that can devote a small amount of time and really keep this thing going forward at a steady pace.
I think it's, if I could say something,
Sure.
we're always developing things in parallel. We always have multiple things going on, but I don't want to miss the boat on this kind of stuff. We're just probably a few years away from people saying, hey, does that new game have legit NPCs in it? Like, are they real? Like, part of the world? Are they intelligent? Do they have AI? And if they don't, they're not going to want to play it. Once people get used to things not being normal canned NPCs, they're not going to want anything else. And so we're trying to get ahead of this, and I think it's a really nice shiny thing for us to put out there. I think the only one that's close to what we're doing is like Square Enix. They're doing some really cool stuff that they're going to release in the future with AI, but we're going in that direction. So it's, I mean, for us, it's kind of a world first, and we definitely want to get our foot out there early. So I think it's paramount that we work on this.
Thanks for that context. That helps me understand your guys' thought process more about it. Thanks for taking my question, guys.
Yeah, certainly.
You? Glad to have you. Percival.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up?
Well, I'm not a player at the moment. I'm more of a lurker in the Discord, but my regards to the team. Like you've been doing a great job for many years now.
Thank you.
Okay, what I wanted to ask you is regarding, these AI companions that you're discussing today. To what extent is it any more difficult to make up a different kind of NPC that would be maybe, a farmer on his plot, or, a cashier in a store, or anything like that? Because, from the outside looking at it, it doesn't seem like it would take many tweaks, or, identically the same mechanism can work, but
We've
the
had
role in the game is quite different. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've actually had that conversation with the devs. We think we're going to be able to take this tech to like when we get to unique NPC and quest interactions, we're going to have that be unique per player. So it's that's I think games are heading this way, but it's I wouldn't say it's easy for us to do different things with the technology. It all takes a lot more work than a lot of people thinks to do this kind of stuff, but we're definitely going to be using this technology in multiple parts of the game. Now, that's based off the system that we built from scratch that runs the companions.
I see.
that-
Okay.
that
Thanks.
answers-
Yeah. If I may, one more, like in the future, how how will you measure, and to what extent do you see populating the game with all these different AIs? If there's maybe like a ratio of NPCs and real players you're aiming for, and what would that be? And ideally you don't want to have maybe too many of these, but then also you want the game to be populated as much as it can be, and so on. So how are you thinking in terms of those issues? And yeah.
Well, from a technology side of things, though, it's not like it's more like a system that becomes the different NPCs when you interact. That's really the way it would actually be built. And I don't really know the ratio. I'm going to kind of let you guys guide that. How much do you like this? I think you're probably going to like it a lot once you start using them, and you're going to want more things to be like this. But we also have to consider infrastructure cost, and not everything will be able to always do everything that you want. There will be some limitations in some ways, but we're open when we come at launch day with these, and I think it's about 3 to 4 weeks when all 4 are available in a release. We're gonna hear a lot of you guys' feedback, and we're gonna kind of build a list of the top tier features that you guys want to have if they make sense, and then we'll go with it. So that's my take on it. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
We have a wooden elf.
Hello. I would like to have a follow-up question, basically on what David said. An AI NPC is definitely a great idea, and I love the idea, and it's probably future in gaming. But on the same side, since the AI is weight option and prompting, don't we lose ability to get, I don't know, Easter eggs and something repeatable, something you can share on Discord, on forum, hey guys, look at what I found. Yay! And you can find it as well.
Are you talking about maybe unlocking different things in their personality over time? If you're talking about the companion drone specifically, I mean, they're already built to work that way, and you'll see that expand into more things over time. If
Elf, are you talking about like unlocking lore and stuff like that?
No. I mean some little hints on real stuff, what's going on in the real world. You know, when you have old games, you have some Easter eggs on this. AI wouldn't probably be able to get the exact sentence like I get the arrow in the innie. If you
Oh, well, no, I mean, I think I want to hear your feedback when you actually deal with one, and I think you're going to be quite surprised at what can actually happen there. So, that's all I'll leave it at for now. There's a lot of things that we can build in. There's a lot that Elite can already do. You guys have seen just like a tiny percent of the experience tonight.
Okay, perfect. Have a nice.
See you. Damaged, disabled, destroyed, or repaired. We haven't looked at repaired yet, but damaged and destroyed. Yes.
Can she speak multiple languages?
Yes. Who was it? Kef was having a full a full conversation in Dutch with Alita. So she does actually support 50 or 60 languages very fluently, but up to 120 imperfectly. So you could totally talk to Alita in your own language. Just the biggest thing I would say, because there is a lot going on in the background, when you meet Alita or any of the other companions for the first time, say a lot about yourself. Say your name. You know, it's start with some context and background, and you're going to have a much better time. Of course, some of you, if you want, you could just get on there and take out your day's worth of stress from work on the drone. It'll do that too. So
I have to say, the more background I gave it on there, like I told her my hobbies, what I do on the weekends, things, I like to, things I love, things I hate, all that, all my pain points. It's actually a great stress reliever. You're having a frustrating day on something, and you go in there and you tell Alita, and it's like, she gets me. But another thing I have to reiterate is
she gets me.
Another thing I have to reiterate is I cannot explain how different it is when you're actually in there on the one-on-one conversation. Like it's mind-blowingly different. We cannot do it justice. If you're seeing this in a video later on, if you watch the demo, tip of the iceberg, it's so much more. I want to know how many hours everybody's clocked in it, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like when Notabot was up here, I'm like, I wonder how much time. I wish I had more time to spend with her. I'll be honest.
I think we'll probably be doing this on social soon. We've had some very interesting chat posts where it shows like a lot of intelligence, very clever, or it's ridiculous and funny. There's a lot of things that can be put in the personalities too that are just like hilarious. Like, Clanker joking about, drunk forklifts and things like that. They have their things. Like Alita is very into vending machines. So you've probably gotten into that one where she's like, vending machine where? So it's there's all
it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
She's like, I can show you the best vending machines around here. And I'm like, all right, let's go.
So question, David, can they have interchangeable weapons, the bots?
So what I want to do with that is not like something like we sell like separate weapons. I want that to be a gamified like upgrading thing that you do in games. So something you would work on as a skill and craft and actually, make things more gamified a little bit. That you're not going to get that out the launch gate, but there is a plan for that. That was Enigma's question, I believe.
Cool.
Alita have an apartment. Well, Alita is. If you have an Alita, she's yours.
It's called your backpack.
Yeah, you guys can just hang out in your own apartment. But no, she's not she's not legal to own apartments. So
Humans hallucinate.
well, it's so when you talk about hallucinations, okay, they're not always hallucination. It's a little bit of a loose term. It's kind of the term for an AI doing something that I don't want it to do, right? Or the developers don't want it to do. I think you're going to see this a lot with AAA when they start including things like this. I don't want to put too many restrictions on these things to where they feel watered down. If you want to kind of role play in your own world with your companion, I'm doing the best that I can to make sure that's possible. If that makes any sense. So, and you can never prevent an AI from totally hallucinating. It could still happen, and things are going to come with a disclaimer as well, because your experience with the companions is going to be based on how you treat it. So if you guys come to chat,
Well, you can do quite a bit with a graph RAG database to prevent hallucinations and keep true to the story.
Yeah,
but it's whether or not we want to use that potential solution or not.
We're working on some things.
Yeah, there are ways. So it comes down to what you're talking about, David, which is what is the end experience we really want the player to have, because that is the paramount.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot break her character and things like that, but I also don't want to restrict so much that you can't have your own sort of role-playing fun. So and I think there's going to be a lot of companies that go that direction, but with anything we do here, we want you guys to have a ton of creativity. Like, look at the apartment builder. Sure, you could have a toilet that's halfway up the wall and stuck there, because I think that's great. So I want you guys to have as much freedom.
Sounds like a hallucination I've had. To be honest.
No, you were just over at my place.
Wasn't recent. So, by the way, yes, David, completely agree. The apartment builder, wow. I want to see more from the community on that, as we move forward, obviously, because that tool is so incredibly powerful. But you're talking about a metaphor for carrying that kind of freedom over to your conversations with your drone, which I think is very powerful.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, can we play with the LLM AI? So that's one thing to realize about this. What's doing 90% of the work with this, as far as Alita staying in character, your experience together, everything that you deal with Alita is not really the LLM per se. We can't, it has to work inside of Unreal. You have to experience this inside the engine because the brain has to run. So you won't be able to just access it on a website. You'll have to do it in game. Oh, somebody's asking about drone perspectives. We have something coming up for that, but I'm not going to say any more about that. Rob, don't say anything. I can see your face is about to explode.
I know nothing about anything that has been said tonight.
Good job, Rob. Good job.
RPA gaming. Yes, I'm interested in things like this. So
Lordy's up here. Let's take a question from Lordy.
Natabot said, "Oh my God, he didn't leak."
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Could have. He could have.
Hello.
I'm really desperate to go for a leak.
Hey, can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, excellent. So the question I have, you mentioned about the drones maintaining a memory when we leave the game, we come back, it remembers us. Is that going to be a localized per machine, or will that follow our account in case we have like a laptop when we're traveling and we want to play on the laptop, or when we return home, we can get on our main machine?
So that's a mix. That's going to be a mixture of local and like cloud storage, and is something that would be secure. And we might give you guys some options as well if you don't want that to happen. You're also going to have the option to wipe it as well. So we want to make sure that we're super careful with data. But yeah, that's a good point. Switching from one PC to another, having a lot of that conversation history attached to your account. Yeah, that's something we're going to work on.
All right, and last question to piggyback off of that: is there a recommended amount of like RAM or something that you think we should have on these systems? Because I know as you evolve the game, eventually we're gonna have to have a little more powerful systems in order to keep everything going. But other than that, that's my final question. Thank you all for building. You're doing a great job. I like the innovation, man. Just keep it coming.
Sweet. Yeah. No. As far as performance stuff goes, we things kind of go in waves. I would say right now, performance needs a little bit more work. And what happens is we do a whole bunch of development, and then we have to do some. We have to do a lot of audits and then clean stuff up over time, and we're due for one of those soon. I actually think in the future the game's going to be a little bit better to run, and for the AI drone specifically, that's not gonna be hard to run. That's not gonna hit you performance wise. So don't worry about that one.
Recommendation for RAM is all of it.
Yeah, definitely look at the specs on the website, but I think things will improve over time. You guys have to roll with the punches a bit as we are in early access, active development. So some builds will be better for performance than others.
Scruffy, somebody asked a good question. Can we get a channel for questions on the AI companions in Discord? And the answer to that is yes. I would love to do that. We'll carry some of those questions into each new week with whatever we're revealing to you guys. I'm not saying we're doing an AMA every week, but we might. I don't know yet. We're just going to continue to reveal how this is developing over the next month. So you guys just get to remain a part of the conversation, and we can answer your questions along the way. All righty. I think it's time.
Do we know, are we playing it in here, or are we just going to tell everybody to go watch it?
I think they need to watch it at full quality.
I agree.
Okay. We need to give the link and have everybody go. We could all go watch it at the same time and then come back here and close it out.
Yeah. Or I think we can just close it out and chat.
Or we close it out now, and you go watch it and head to the store.
Then we open to the sale.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So, everyone,
we did talk about
to your point, watch it in high quality on YouTube settings.
Okay.
We'll give you the leak. We'll give you the leak video, and let's all go watch it. I really enjoyed it. Rob, have you seen this yet?
Did we cover rollout on these as well? That's the rollout. How it's Scruffy and you wanna. Okay, so I want to say one thing about the technology because it's ongoing. We're trying to figure out infrastructure things. We've done calculations. We've done concurrency testing. We've done a lot of things. But on launch day for these, we're not going to open up the floodgates all at once in 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it based on purchase order and probably about 25 of you at a time. I don't know if that's going to be a few days apart or that's going to be a week apart. We want to do this right. I don't want you all to jump in and have like a bad time all on launch day. We want to kind of stagger this out. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to know that.
That's a great point. And just a reminder on some of the other points as well. The quantities are low. The Clanker is 200 only. The Founders Bundle is 200 only. And 2,600 total for Alita, Aaron, and Kiko. So that is to say thank you guys for participating, for helping us get going with all of that. And there's no ongoing token charge with these drones ever. And for your companion key, for those that have purchased the original Founders Bundle, that comes with the Avatar Companion, not the Drone Companion, plus lifetime or for the life of the game, the service charges, token charges for that drone, or Avatar Companion. So that makes the value incredible for these drones because you'll never get a token charge on the service of them. And we don't know that that'll happen in the future for others, but it's definitely going to for the Avatar Companion and others. So thank you all. And Scruffy, are you ready to?
Yeah, kind of. I'll tell you this. I'm going to do the announcement, and it's going to say the sale is open, and it's going to have the link of the video as well. The sale will be opening in just a few minutes. So
overall, I came away from this AMA feeling more excited about Infinity Rising than I was going in. What really stood out to me wasn't just the AI companions, it was hearing the team talk about them building their own technology from the ground up instead of taking shortcuts. That's a huge undertaking, and it's something I respect. At the same time, this is still a very ambitious project. There are a lot of promises and a lot of big ideas, and now it's all about execution. I'm looking forward to seeing how these AI companions actually evolve once players get their hands on them. This could end up being one of those projects that changes how we think about NPCs and companions in games, or it could teach the industry some valuable lessons about what's possible. Either way, I think it's worth paying attention to. I'd love to hear what you all think. Are AI companions the future of gaming, or do you think developers should keep things more traditional? Let me know down in the comments because I think this is one of the biggest conversation gaming is going to have over the next few years. And if you enjoyed this reaction, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.